you guys already know what time it is, but let's just get it. Let's just get it. The Insane Lore of Tekken. Let's get it. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's get it.
Growing up as a kid, I played a wide variety of video games. Platformers, RPGs, whatever the hell Seaman's supposed to be. But the type of game I played the most with my friends would have to be the fighting variety. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat.
Also, just letting you guys know right now, we're gonna get Tekken 8 pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that. We're the playthrough for that for sure for Tekken 8. Give it like and subscribe.
That couldn't be further from the truth. I am terrible at these games. Like, I
am
understand
too.
what I'm supposed to do. Blocking,
I am too.
zoning, super meters, write down rights for your Shoryukens, you know. But I just can't react to any of it fast enough. I never use my assists effectively, I can't counter anything in DOA, I can't pull off a 10-string to save my life.
That's crazy.
You'd more than likely kick my ass, but I'm still gonna have fun regardless. Whether I'm button mashing or using muscle memory that I can't possibly articulate, it's still satisfying to knock some virtual heads.
That's facts.
There is an energy with this genre that is
Marvel vs. Capcom.
The speed, the music,
I played a little bit of
animations,
Marvel
and
vs.
VO.
Capcom. That was pretty good.
Character goes a
I can
long
get a little more
way.
about that game.
If your game has lots of personality and feels satisfying to play, then you're gonna win me over. I mean, who didn't want to be Ryu or Chun-Li when they first played Street Fighter?
Oh yeah.
Who didn't love the ninjas of Mortal Kombat? I
Wow.
remember booting up Soul Calibur 2 and being
I
instantly
remember playing that
drawn to
game.
Nightmare.
Soul Calibur 2
The
was really
Azure
good.
Demon who wields the demonic blade.
It was a cult
Soul
classic
Edge.
of mine on the GameCube.
On a surface level, Nightmare is just an edgy Dark Knight, but these
Nightmare is
characters
crazy.
have lore behind
Nightmare is
them,
just
and
insane.
Digging deeper helps you discover that this scary-looking fighter is actually a tragic figure. A man named Siegfried, one who sought the evil blade to gain the power that could avenge his father.
Yeah.
When in reality,
But that
he
was part of
running
the
away
story,
from the
too.
truth, that he himself was the murderer. And this delusion only fuels his descent to the dark side as he falls deeper and deeper into insanity.
He turned a little bit of
Ultimately
good though.
becoming a shallow husk of the person he used to be.
There's no turning back.
Except there is, because when we get to Soul Calibur 3, Siegfried rejects the darkness inside him and regains his
Oh,
humanity.
yeah.
His story
That's what happened.
continuing on redemption. It's a fantastic soap opera that just expands with each new entry. But you had to find out this information yourself. See, nowadays every fighting game has a story mode of some sort, but back in the 90s and early 2000s, that wasn't the case.
I am mostly every fighting game has a story, but like I heard Tekken 8 has a really good story.
Still images and text.
I'm excited for
Now,
that.
Mortal Kombat is the only game I remember that had biographies in the attract mode. Every other time, you had to consult the instruction booklet. And Virtua Fighter never had endings to their games, so those manuals are essential to know anything about the lore.
Okay.
Did you know that Pi is a Hollywood actress? Neither did I!
I didn't know
Figuring
that.
out fighting game lore is like going to IKEA. They give you the pieces, but you have to assemble it yourself.
Oh yeah.
And that takes us to the topic of today's video. I'd like to talk about Tekken.
Tekken. Alright. I'm excited for this. Let's see what they got for Tekken for me. Man, I'm excited to play Tekken, man. Like, Tekken 8 is gonna be insane. I know it came out this year. I already know that for sure, yeah.
Tekken is one of Bandai Namco's best-selling franchises. Each game always ending up with a greatest hits re-release. Everyone's heard of it, it's incredibly popular, but being a fighting game, its lore is still very hidden, very obscure. When Nintendo's Smash Bros. Ultimate was rolling out DLC, the second last fighter revealed was Kazuya Mishima,
I keep
one of
forgetting
the
about
major
Ganon.
characters of Tekken. And it was interesting seeing all of this obliviousness from friends
everyone
and
wanted
strangers alike.
Kazuya to
where
be
he
in the
was
game
from,
for Smash
but
Bros.
Why does he turn into a purple demon man? I
I don't
you'll
know,
watch
you
all
tell
the big
me.
fighting game tournaments, Combo Breaker, Evo, and Tekken seems relatively normal at first. Just a bunch of martial artists fighting each other, right? And then in one match, someone will pick Jack, the gigantic metal robot with the pink mohawk.
Yeah, he's big
and
as
then
shit.
In another, someone will pick Panda, a panda bear that knows Mishima-style karate. And while they fight, the
That's
music
crazy
that
how the
plays in
panda does
background
this.
might be a little strange.
Oh! I mean, yeah, it's a little strange from that. Okay, damn. Wow.
It's a franchise that looks really intense on the outside, but behind the curtain is some really goofy shit. Lots of fighting games are silly and weird, but none of them compare to Tekken. From the very first
Is it always like
release,
that?
They actually made special FMV endings for every character. Some were badass, some were wholesome, but a lot of them were just crazy. And it made you want to
I did not know the story was like
just
that.
to see what would happen next. That's what got me hooked onto the lore and why it's been living in my head all these years. And it always led to amusing conversations because people couldn't believe that Tekken was so cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh yeah.
If you're trying to get into the series today, you'll start with Tekken 7. And while all of the past
I'm about to put Tekken 8 pretty
you
soon.
still won't get any of the character backstories. Jumping in late means you'll have to do research if you want to learn about Elisa Boskanovich, or why there's a boxing kangaroo.
Yeah, that's
Without
crazy.
access to the rest of the series, you don't have the full scope of what the hell's going on. And that's what this video is for. I've been a fan since Tekken 3. I own every game in the series, and these last few months I have watched every prologue, studied every ending. I have plunged deep into the mythology so that I can cover it properly. Because I want everyone to know just how crazy this series really is.
Okay.
So, without further ado, let's talk about the insane lore of Tekken.
I'm excited. Let's get it.
So one thing I should address right off the bat, the name. Tekken is Japanese for Iron Fist, the title of the tournament that is featured in every single game. And I think we're all saying it wrong. I've been saying Tekken because that's what all the commercials said.
I mean,
games, and then there's Tekken 3.
Oh yeah, Tekken 4 here.
I will defeat the Tekken fighters.
bro.
Tekken tag tournament.
But in the game itself,
Oh my
they
gosh.
say it very differently.
Let's see what they say.
Tekken Force.
When Tekken fighters attacked her.
Yeah, it's Tekken 7. Tekken,
Tekken.
Tekken,
Tekken.
We all made fun of
That's how
Michelle
you say it?
Rodriguez, but she knew what was up.
Like literally spend all night playing like Tekken fighter games or Street Fighter.
So, you know, I just thought it was worth mentioning.
They literally just did that.
Anywho, on to Tekken 1. So this game came out in 1994, where the saga begins with a father and his son who are training atop a giant mountain
Oh,
in
that's the
Japan.
son. Wow.
This is the Mishima
Yeah, Kazuya
family,
and
Heihachi and his 5-year-old son, Kazuya. And unfortunately for
Heihachi
little
and
squirt,
Kazuya
his
is
dad is a
father and
colossal
son.
asshole. For Heihachi has brought his son to this mountain with the intent of throwing him into a ravine.
Oh
The
crap.
logic being that if the boy was worthy of carrying his
Yeah,
legacy,
he's
he
insane.
would survive the fall. Obviously, being 5 years old, there wasn't much Kaz could do to stop this.
Oh,
But throwing him off the cliff was the worst mistake Heihachi
Oh,
could have
gosh.
made, because not only does Kazuya survive, but he also vows revenge, their familial bond forever broken. We cut to 21 years later, where Heihachi is doing pretty good for himself. And this is where I start gushing about the guy.
yo,
Not
Heihachi
only
is
he my main when I'm
crazy.
playing the game, but the dude might be one of
But
the
I already
most
know he was in that
fascinating video
PlayStation
game
All-Stars
characters
game, but
of
why
all
not
time.
Kazuya then?
He is the
Why not him?
CEO of the Mishima Zaibatsu, a gigantic conglomerate that not only runs sporting events, but also funds military projects. A corporation that is so big and so rich that it has branches in Europe and America. Originally, it was on the up and up, until Heihachi's father, Jinpachi Mishima,
Oh, he has a
passed
father
away.
too, Jinpachi.
Look at that goddamn beard.
He has the same
One has
beard
to
for
wonder
that.
if
My
Jinpachi's
goodness.
death was legit, because as soon as Heihachi gains control, he starts using the company for organized crime.
Oh, wow.
He's basically the head of the Yakuza if it extended to the whole goddamn world.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
definitely
and
evil
no
for
one
sure.
dares cross Heihachi, because try as they might, the man is unkillable. He is the
What the-
strongest fighter in the world. A man so badass that he can catch a tomahawk with his fucking teeth. The
Nah,
dude
that's
is so
insane.
intense that he once went into the wilderness
is
and
crazy,
found a
bro.
little baby grizzly cub. He brought the bear home and raised it to be his pet. But over the years, he taught it some new tricks, such as how to understand Japanese and how to fight. I repeat, he raised a bear and taught it Mishima-style karate.
Nah.
Heihachi has a grizzly bear
Nah.
from a sparring partner.
Good
This is a playable
lord.
character, by the way. you can fight as the bear Kuma, whose character model was
Oh my
ugly
gosh.
as hell in the original
Kuma was in
game.
Tekken 8 as
Well,
well.
maybe his CG render is better. Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh, and it should be mentioned that it wasn't enough
Ew.
for Heihachi to throw his son off a cliff. He also adopted another child purely to be a rival to the boy.
Nah, that's
An orphan
messed
who was
up.
good at fighting off street punks, Li Chaolan was officially made a Mishima, where he enjoyed the Zaibatsu's grand wealth. If you think that Li loves his adopted father, no. Like I said, Heihachi is a shitty father.
He kind of
Anyway,
is.
Heihachi is on top
He
of
really
the world.
is.
He's rich, he's powerful, but he feels so dissatisfied. Say what you will about his criminal ties, the man only wants a fair fight. To meet that challenger who can finally push him to his limits
he
and
does.
best him in combat. And so he comes up with a brilliant idea. The King of Iron Fist tournament. A call to every fighter in the world to see who can dethrone the Zaibatsu's head honcho and win the gigantic cash prize.
Oh, nah.
And thus the stage for Tekken is set. A dozen weirdo fighters all coming together, including Kazuya, our would-be main character. Of course, you're not forced to play as Kazuya, but he is up front and center as the star.
I mean,
He gets
yeah,
the screen time,
he's the
he
main
takes up all the
character.
space.
So?
Hell, the poster's tagline is all about him.
Yeah, of
But what I find
course.
interesting about this is that Kazuya is not a hero. At all. Typically in fighting games, the
He's
main
not?
character is a babyface. Ryu from Street Fighter, Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat. These guys don't have any dark intentions, they just want to do the right thing and make the world a better place.
I mean, yeah.
But not Kazuya. Like, yeah, Heihachi's a criminal prick, but the goal isn't exactly noble. He wants to murder his father so that he can inherit the Zaibatsu and attain world domination.
Oh, yeah, because
He
what
doesn't
he
want to
did to
restore
him
honor
was
to the
crazy,
company.
yeah.
He wants to be the new big bad. And this isn't a retcon. Even as early as the first instruction manuals, he is described as a cold-blooded man who wants his coup d'etat.
What?
The main character is morally gray, and you're not supposed to root for him. I find that fascinating.
Huh?
It really sets the tone for the Mishima storyline going forward.
What?
But let's talk about the other characters.
All right,
like
let's talk
Jack
about them.
the Robot, a mechanical humanoid built by the Russian military. They enter Jack into the tournament because they caught wind of Kazuya's plans and want to
I
stop
mean, yeah,
him from
Jack is a
winning.
robot, though.
The
He
rules
was
for entering
created.
the tournament seem pretty lax because apparently it's okay for martial artists to fight giant robot men made of titanium. Although, to be fair, Jack can't be that tough because its model was mass-produced for jobbing. Yeah, it's not a unique machine. There are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of Jack robots that all operate exactly the same.
What?
And throughout the series, the fighters will dispatch these tin cans like they're nothing.
No, holy
Because
crap, that's
honestly,
insane.
They are.
That's really
Although
insane.
These mooks have been programmed to dab on top of their beaten opponents, so I'll say that's kind of amazing. Who designed the Jack robots? Why, Russian scientist Dr. Boskanovich. He's not a playable character, but he would become one in Tekken 3.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's basically the Dr. Light of Tekken. He's an incredibly talented scientist.
I didn't even know there was
who
a
will be
doctor in the
responsible for
game.
A lot of the crazier fighters.
And he
coming
was,
up.
he's fighting,
Now,
okay, hold
though,
on.
He simply built Jack, and he made an artificial arm for another contestant, the samurai Yoshimitsu.
Yoshimitsu,
Which, again,
yeah.
Swords are allowed in the Iron Fist tournament? Whatever.
And that's what Soul Calibur got
Yoshi
that.
here is a bit of a Robin Hood. He belongs to the Manji clan, a notorious bandit group that steals from the rich and gives to the poor. This clan has been around for hundreds of years, which leads to another fun factoid.
That's
Tekken
interesting.
is not the only series this character is in, because Yoshimitsu's ancestor, who has the exact same name and fighting style,
yeah.
is also present in Namco's Soul Calibur franchise.
That's insane.
And
This is really
Heihachi
insane.
Mishima was actually a guest character.
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
he
PlayStation
was.
2 version
Yeah, he
of
was.
Soul Calibur 2.
Even Kuma is stronger than you.
But you don't care about that because everyone vastly prefers the GameCube version. It has
Yeah.
Link, for God's sake.
I mean, I love Link for that.
The most
I love
interesting
Link
thing
for
about
that.
Yoshi here is that his sword, which is also called Yoshimitsu, is a demon blade that eats people's blood.
What?
If the weapon is not sufficiently fed, it
I
will
didn't even know
gain
the blade was
power
like
to
that in
control
series
its
at the
wielder's
same
mind
time.
and unleash all kinds of evil. Luckily, this is never a problem because Yoshimitsu always punishes the wicked.
What?
Still, that's kind of insane. Next up is King, a Mexican wrestler who always wears a jaguar mask. We only ever see his face once in the very first opening ever.
Oh my gosh,
He wrestles
man, that's
so that he can earn
insane.
money to keep his orphanage afloat. His Mexican orphanage that's filled with Japanese children. I love this cheesy live-action ending.
I don't know, man.
The strangest thing about King is that he's not a mutant, he's not a science
But what's going on with the
he's just a
budget for
normal
this
man.
when they're making
But
these
rather than speak
games?
in normal language, he only speaks in Jaguar.
No, bro, come on. Come on.
Don't lie to me.
Bro.
Tekken is like the only franchise I can think of where every character speaks their own native language.
Oh, yeah, of
Usually
course.
it's all English or all Japanese. But not this game. Paul Phoenix, the American, only speaks English. Heihachi only speaks Japanese. Lily speaks French, Leo speaks German, Claudio speaks Italian.
Italian,
it's so strange
French,
to have
German.
A scene where 3 different characters are saying 3 different languages, yet they can all understand each other just fine. They can also
I mean, yeah, it's
understand Kuma,
crazy
and all
how they
he
understanding
does is
each other, though,
roar.
from the languages
Tekken
that...
is so goddamn
on the game.
weird. It should also be mentioned that there is Armor King, another wrestler who wears a Jaguar mask. His eye was crushed by King, which caused his wrestling career to suffer. He's entered the tournament for revenge. And then there is
What?
Anna and Nina Williams, the Williams sisters.
Williams
Their
sisters.
parents taught the two how to fight to the point that they're both deadly assassins. But family or no, these two can't stand each other. Anna always jealous
damn.
of the attention her father gave
Oh,
Nina,
damn.
and the latter always being
Oh,
cold
damn.
and dismissive.
Oh,
Except when she's watching
goodness.
Tom and Jerry, because Nina's a big fan of Tom. I didn't make that up. That's what the manual says. These two fight a lot. Like one time, Nina deliberately stole Anna's shoe, got called out on it, and so she slaps the shit out of Anna, who
Damn.
cries at the abuse, and she laughs it off because, haha, I did have this shoe.
What?
In Tekken 2, she just barges into the bathroom while Anna's showering and snaps a nudie pic without her consent.
Hey, yo.
But it's okay because Anna got revenge when these 3 bodybuilder guys came up to flirt with them, and Anna took all 3 of them home.
Goodness, these sisters
No
are
gangbang
insane.
for you, Nina. It should also be mentioned that Namco apparently thought Nina was so popular that she deserved her own spin-off game. Death by
Oh.
Degrees for the PS2.
Death
It
by
sucks, don't play
degrees. Oh, never mind.
I'm not covering it because it's wildly inconsistent with Nina's backstory in the main games.
Damn.
But maybe I'll give it a deeper look some other time.
That's sad and it's
I gotta
bad.
speed this up. There's Michelle, the Native American whose family was ruined by the Zaibatsu. There's Ganryu, a Japanese sumo wrestler whose shameful behavior lost him respect.
What the
There's
hell?
Martial Law, yes, that's his name, a chef working in San Francisco. He looks and fights like Bruce Lee because every fighting game ever needed a Bruce Lee
He looks like Bruce
type.
Lee, yeah.
Anger into it.
Marshall is best friends with another contestant named Paul Phoenix,
Marshall's
and you
in
don't
Tekken
want to
8,
sleep
okay.
on this guy. He may be a brash, blowhard American, his hair would make Eraserhead blush, but this guy is legit. He once fought Kazuya Mishima before the tournament, and the battle ended in a draw.
Wow.
He didn't win, but he didn't lose.
These
either.
two had history
He is
with each
on
other back in the
par
day.
with
Okay.
the protagonist. Remember that.
I mean,
for
Tekken's
later.
like
And finally, I'll
Tekken's like
mention
an old
Wang
series,
Jinrei,
too.
a merchant and longtime friend of the Mishima family, in particular Jinpachi. He's on good terms with Heihachi, but he doesn't really approve of all the criminal activity. Okay, that's the roster. Tekken 2 will go by a lot quicker because there's a lot of setup here. Going by
Wow,
character
that's
bios
crazy.
and story details from future games, I put together bullet points for what matches happened and who canonically won. This tournament's pretty straightforward. In the game itself,
I mean,
not
yeah.
every fighter is playable from the get-go. You have to unlock them through a specific character's campaign.
Oh, yeah,
and those
for sure.
unlock fights are
Makes
all
sense.
canon. Paul Phoenix defeated Kuma, Kazuya defeated Lee, Yoshimitsu defeated Ganryu, and even worse, he took all of his money. Money that he
Wow.
will not be getting back because it was given to people.
Hey, he's
in
stealing
much
the
more
money. My
need.
goodness.
King defeated Armor King, but this one had a happy ending because Armor King realizes that he had truly been bested by a far superior wrestler. And rather than hold a grudge forever, he decided it would be better to be in his corner, to be an ally
Damn.
instead of an enemy. Well, that's nice. And then we come to the semifinals, the winner going on to face Heihachi. Kazuya versus Paul Phoenix.
Paul
Their
Phoenix.
last fight ended in a draw, but this time, Kazuya pulls it out.
Yeah.
He advances to the
Look at
grand
that. He
finals
beated him
where
up.
Daddy Dearest awaits him. And for the first time ever,
Man, Heihachi is just-
knows the sting of
he's a
defeat
fucked up man.
as his son bests him in the tournament.
I didn't
But
even
what can
get
only be
why
called
the
poetic
backstory to
justice,
that of
Kazuya
why he
decides
was
to do
doing
the
that.
same
I mean, he was
thing
kind of
that his
fucked up at the
father had
beginning.
done to him.
Wow, that he got that revenge.
The dude just murdered his father.
He
and
did.
Like, what a happy, wholesome moment.
I find that in like
that
a demon type of thing. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, folks, with Heihachi supposedly dead, the Mishima Zaibatsu is now Kazuya's to control.
Damn.
Little does he know, however, it's gonna take more than that to kill his old man.
Oh yeah. Tekken 2.
So 2 years have passed since the original Tekken, and Kazuya is now on top of the world. But like I said before, this man is not a good guy. His goal is world domination, and he uses the Zaibatsu in all kinds of nefarious ways to achieve that.
Interesting.
Assassinations, drug dealing, kidnappings. The guy acquires all kinds of assets to build his empire.
I mean,
He
I
even abducts
didn't even know that
Russian
was his
scientist
character, though.
Dr. Boskanovich and forces him to
I'm
work
happy we're
on some
getting to that
pretty
to this
weird
game.
shit. I don't know how or why Kazuya comes up with this. I only know that it was him and not his father.
Oh yeah.
So he tells the Zaibatsu, I want you to poach as many animals as you can. Cheetahs, wolves, kangaroos.
Insane.
I don't want just an army of people.
Very insane of that,
I
huh?
want an army of beasts. And so, through some mad science, Dr. Boskanovich creates the first transgenic military animal, Roger. A boxing kangaroo that's meant to impose fear in the enemies of the Mishima Zaibatsu. I'd like to imagine that because Boskanovich was a hostage, that maybe this was his way of messing with them. But even still, you don't get this far without supervision. It's pretty hard to take Kazuya seriously when his big plan to conquer the world is to sick boxing kangaroos against his enemies. But it gets even better, because the second military animal would come from an extinct species.
Okay.
Using DNA pulled from fossilized insects,
I like how his name is Roger.
Boskanovich then applies his experiment to a full-grown velociraptor. The man literally brought back the dinosaurs just so he could slap one with boxing gloves. I mean, shit, man. You'd think resurrecting dinos would earn you a pretty sizable chunk of change.
Wow, bro, that's
but
insane.
Hey,
Oh my gosh.
what do I know? Now, these
That's
two characters
insane.
are very jokey inclusions,
Bro.
but believe it or not, their existence is critical.
I find that insane. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely crucial to paving the way for the future. For Kazuya's animal poaching has caught the attention of the WWWC, a wildlife protection agency of which a certain woman is a member.
Wow.
That woman being Jun Kazama.
Kazama,
If you
yeah.
have any passing knowledge of Tekken lore, you know what that means. If Kazuya hadn't tried to create military kangaroos, Jin Kazama would never have been born.
That's crazy.
But
What?
I'm getting ahead of myself. In order to establish his dominance in the
Kazama
world,
must be
as well as eliminate his
something
enemies,
to Kazuya too.
decides to sponsor the King of Iron Fist Tournament 2. It attracts the attention of the exact same cast from the original, as well as a few new faces like the Hong Kong detective Lei Wulan, a Taekwondo fighter named Beck, and a Muay Thai fighter named Bruce. The latter, a bodyguard for Kazuya, alongside Ganryu and Anna Williams.
So Kazuya has a lot of stuff.
Hark,
My goodness.
Be careful to anyone who dares enter this tournament, for it is rumored that Kazuya has made a deal with the devil himself. What I find interesting when you look at the promotional material of this game is how the roles are reversed. Whereas before, the entire cast was surrounding Kazuya, now they find themselves surrounding Heihachi. The hero is now the villain is now the hero. How many sequels managed to pull
I mean, it's villain and heroes, but at the same time, though,
fluid Tekken's morality
this is insane from Tekken.
Heihachi's not a good guy, but he might be better than Kazuya.
What?
Either way, a lot of the stakes seem much
No
more
freaking
personal
way
this
he
time
is.
around. Yoshimitsu wants to save Dr. Boskanovich. Kuma wants revenge on Paul Phoenix. King has become a drunk because his orphanage is going under, and only with the support of Armor King can he pick himself up. One of the Jack units wants to feel emotion and identity, and actually saves a little girl named Jane from a war-torn battle. It vows to protect the little girl no matter what. Michelle's mother has been kidnapped by the Zaibatsu because of a certain medallion she has. A medallion that will serve a much bigger purpose in Tekken 3.
I didn't even know that was the
she's dealing
purpose
with
of
that,
Tekken
she also
3
has to be
around the
careful
time
of
from that.
Ganryu, because the sumo wrestler has been madly in love with Michelle since meeting her in the last tournament. Apparently, he begged Kazuya to rig the game so that they would fight each other. Li Chaolan decides to side with his stepbrother Kazuya.
Oh my gosh.
It's not because of brotherly love.
No
Ultimately,
freaking
he wants to
way.
sabotage his plans with the help of Wang Jinrei. And Heihachi,
Damn.
well, the man has a lot of pride. He has spent the last
I'm sure
2
he
years
does.
training like a beast, knowing that his
I'm sure
son
he's been
has
training like a
finally
beast like
lived
crazy.
up to the Mishima name. He will not take him lightly this time.
Damn.
The stage is set. The King of Iron Fist Tournament 2 begins. So right off the bat, Paul defeats Kuma again. Heihachi faces off with Lee Chaolan and puts him in his place.
Damn.
He tells his adopted son that when I get the Zaibatsu
My goodness,
back,
man.
your ass is out.
I don't like
Michelle
Heihachi,
defeats
man.
Ganryu, tells him,
Not now,
"Sorry,
bro. I don't know
buddy,
about
I'm
him.
interested."
He's
She also
crazy.
gets her mother back, as well as the medallion. Lei Wulong faces off with Bruce and emerges victorious. Lei found information connecting Bruce to the death of his old partner, but when he tries to pursue him after the tournament, Bruce's getaway plane crashes and he supposedly dies. Nina Williams enters the tournament to assassinate Kazuya, and whether she got defeated by him or by Anna, it's not very clear. The point is that she suffers defeat, and Kazuya, being the absolute shithead that he is, forces her into a cryosleep chamber.
What?
He renders her unconscious to forever be a human test subject.
What the
It's
hell?
at this point that Anna realizes that she doesn't want to live in a world without Nina, and so she asks to be put in cryosleep as well.
What the
And
fuck?
Kazuya's just like, alright, whatever, I don't care. The Williams sisters together forever.
Nah, bro, this is
Whatever
insane.
cryo research is gonna happen, it'll happen without Dr. Bosconovich, because Yoshimitsu accomplishes his mission when he boards a helicopter that the good doctor is on. He takes out the guards and makes off with the scientist, slowly disembarking with his artificial propeller arm.
What the fuck?
Meanwhile, Jack, one of Boskonovich's creations, is playing with the little girl Jane while something sinister happens overhead. A giant space cannon designed by a scientist named Dr. Abel aims specifically for the one Jack unit that's competing in the tournament.
Oh,
It fires off a
shit.
giant laser that pierces Jack's neck and shuts the machine down. Jane, traumatized over losing her friend, dedicates the rest of her life to studying robotics. Now, I don't know how
What?
well Jun Kazama did in the tournament.
What?
All I know is that she met with Kazuya. And
Oh.
she's not just a wildlife protector. She's not just a martial artist. There is something about the Kazama bloodline that allows them to feel the spirits and energy all around them. And when she meets Kazuya, she senses a sinister force, an evil aura that seems to be controlling his destiny.
Oh,
Almost
yeah.
like he's a good man, but there's some
But he's
element
just
that makes
not
him
that
do
a
the
great
evil
person.
that
That's
he
it.
does.
He's just
And
not.
Kazuya, for whatever reason, is drawn to Jun. He finds her mysterious, her interest in him very intriguing.
Oh,
The
yeah.
two get close.
Oh, yeah.
Very close.
Oh, yeah, they
And
must
at
have.
some point during the tournament, the two have sex. Yeah, these two should absolutely hate each other, but you know what they say, opposites attract. This is a PS1
What?
fighting game. There are no scenes to elaborate.
No freaking
on.
way.
Unless Tekken 8 or the Netflix anime
Holy
series
crap.
will explain how this happened, you just have to take my word that Jun and Kazuya hit it off. Jun doesn't make much of an impact in the tournament. Hell, she doesn't even make it to the semifinals.
Holy
No,
crap.
That honor belongs to Heihachi and goddamn Paul Phoenix again.
Oh my
Yeah, for the
gosh,
second
Paul
year in a row,
Phoenix.
He got that close to winning, but this time around, a gigantic traffic accident clogged up the expressway, and Paul was unable to reach his match in time.
Damn.
Loss by disqualification.
Yeah.
Paul, dude, this is why you show up early, man. Come on. And so it ends like it did before.
I don't know why he didn't do
Heihachi
that.
and
That's his
Kazuya.
fault. That's his
During
fault.
the fight, Heihachi discovers the evil force that Jun had sensed, because this is where players first get introduced to Devil Kazuya. He sheds his
Damn.
clothes to become a purple devil man who can
What?
fly around and shoot lasers out of his forehead.
Holy
And this isn't the
crap.
result of one of Boskonovich's experiments. This is a natural part of Kaz's
Yo,
being
look at
that's
that.
been there since the very beginning. The Devil Gene.
Devil
A strange
Gene.
mutation that allows him to transform into a completely different being.
That Devil Gene
But he
must be
doesn't
very
keep his
powerful. Oh my
consciousness, as
gosh.
The devil is its own person. Devil Kazuya has a will of its own and completely different ambitions compared to its host. The devil only exists to kill, to destroy, to cause all kinds.
Yeah,
of
that's how he
pain and
transforms to the
suffering.
devil. Okay.
It should also be mentioned that there's an angel in this game as well. Some kind of
Oh, yeah.
good side to Kazuya that
Oh, yeah,
acts
there
as the
is.
final
There must
boss
have,
when you
yeah.
play as
There
the
it is.
devil. She only appears in Tekken 2, and aside from the tag spin-offs, she never comes back or gets referred to ever.
Damn.
But in case you were curious, Kazuya's good side is depicted as a blonde white woman. So hey. But none of this matters. Devil or no, laser beams or no, Heihachi Mishima is the strongest man in the world, and he will air juggle your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Even with the scary demonic
Oh,
power,
yeah, for sure.
Kazuya loses to his father. Heihachi regains the Mishima Zaibatsu and once again proves his dominance. And thus he aims to rectify a mistake he made over 23 years ago.
Wow.
He shouldn't have thrown Kazuya into a ravine.
That's his fault for doing that.
He should have thrown him into a volcano.
Man, what's with these guys
Yes,
do with the
he
volcanoes?
picks up
Holy
Kaz's
crap.
unconscious body and chucks it into molten lava. Then he flies away by
Nah,
helicopter
bro.
while
No
the damn
freaking
thing
way.
erupts in the background.
No freaking
Kazuya
way.
Mishima is dead. Heihachi does not fuck around.
Yeah, he's
With
a
the devil
menace.
taken care of and
He's
things
an
returned to
absolute
normal,
menace.
The only trace of Kazuya left is his child. One that will be raised by Jun Kazama.
Him. Tekken 3, baby.
Tekken 3 is a turning point for the series in many ways. On the gameplay side, this is when it started getting really good. Faster
Interesting.
combat, more fluidity. It
Yeah,
all feels
it looks pretty good
drastically
now
better than the two
in the
games
combat.
that came before it. And everyone took notice, which is why Tekken 3 is often considered one of the greatest PlayStation games ever made.
Really?
But in
Is
terms
that
of
true?
lore, this game changed
That has
the
to be
tone,
true.
the visual style, and even the time frame.
That's like for Devil May
Tekken
Cry
3
3.
takes place 18 years after Tekken 2.
18
where
years
once
after
Heihachi
Tekken
had
2.
black hair, he now has gray hair.
Damn.
And once we followed Kazuya, we now follow his son.
That's his son,
New
yeah.
generation of fighters.
There
a
it
new
is, his
era to
son.
Unfold. A new energy had entered the franchise, and it has been intoxicating ever since. So the story kicks off in South America, where an ancient evil awakens from some ruins. This evil is the god of fighting known as Ogre. Its
What?
origins are shrouded in mystery, with some theorizing that it was dropped on this planet by
Holy crap.
extraterrestrials. It speaks a weird language, it's a big muscular green man, and the only thing it lives for is absorbing chi of other fighters.
What?
I don't know how martial artist energies differ from ours, but Ogre does.
Holy
And with
crap.
the ability to sense this power, he travels all over the globe to battle. And this actually leads
Holy
to
crap.
casualties as Ogre finds King, the Mexican wrestler, and actually kills him. Oh, yeah. Did
Damn.
you think King in Tekken 7 was the same King in Tekken 1? No
No.
way, Jose.
No.
Ogre beats the Taekwondo fighter Beck so badly that the dude ends up in a coma until Tekken 5.
Bro, why is it that
Martial artists from
serious?
all over the world start disappearing.
Holy crap.
leading to Detective Lei Wulan to open up a case for it. But by far, the biggest target of Ogres is Jun Kazama.
Yeah,
Ever
Jun.
since Tekken 2, Jun has been raising her son Jin in Yakashima.
Yeah,
and
for a
she's
very long
trained him in
time, of
martial arts,
course.
She's taught him good
Of course.
values, the importance of morality. But now something's coming. Because Jun can sense evil energies, she warns Jin that if anything ever happens to her, he needs to seek out his grandfather, Heihachi. And sure
Oh,
enough,
gosh.
Ogre shows up, trashes the place, and knocks Jin unconscious.
Damn.
Comes to, both Ogre and his mother are gone.
What?
Aside from the non-canon tag games, Jun never comes back. Heihachi is intrigued
What the
by
fuck?
this Ogre. He's always heard of it, but now the beast has finally woken up.
What the
If he
fuck,
could capture
bro?
Ogre, study his body, study his blood, perhaps Heihachi could unlock that strength for himself. And Jin, his grandson, a chip off the old block. He takes to Mishima-style karate very well, convincing
Oh,
Heihachi
yeah, of
that he
course.
would make for the
Been trained for a
perfect
long, long
bait
time,
to
yeah.
draw Ogre out. And naturally, Jin is fueled with hate, fueled with revenge, desperate to fight Ogre once more.
Wow.
This would eventually lead to Heihachi starting the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3.
Yeah, I mean, he did that in the
But let's
first
not get
place.
ahead
He
of
started that
ourselves. He
up.
still takes care of Jin and puts him in high school. The Mishima
Oh, yeah, of course. He has to go to high
Polytechnic
school.
to be exact.
Oh, yeah.
A facility that not only has framed pictures of Heihachi everywhere, but also a giant golden statue so that the students can worship him
That's
like a
everywhere. Oh my
god.
gosh.
Again,
That
I
is
find
definitely
Heihachi
everywhere.
so damn fascinating because the guy is just so in love with himself.
What?
Anyone who can win the King of
Good
Iron
lord,
Fist
there's
is
too many
given a
of
trophy that is
Heihachi in the
modeled
city.
after his own head. The dude literally has a bowling alley in the Zaibatsu headquarters with
No.
these trophies as
No.
the bowling pins.
No.
I tell ya, I would love to have Heihachi as my grandpa.
I
I'm not
mean,
the only one, as Jin goes to school with
would you
Lin
guys-
Xiaoyu, a
what do you
Chinese girl
guys-
who's distantly related
What?
to Wang Jinrei. One day, she stows aboard a yacht belonging to the Mishima Zaibatsu, and despite being a teenager, she single-handedly kicks all of the guards' asses.
Damn.
Heihachi finds this so impressive.
That should be in the ass too, my goodness.
And he agrees to take her as a ward, enrolling her into
Being
his
up.
school. And as a gesture of good faith, he also gives her a bodyguard. Panda!
Panda.
Specifically, a panda.
No wonder
bear
we saw the
that
panda and
knows
her
Mishima-style
had that
karate.
relationship with each other.
Why a panda
They're good
bear?
friends.
There's gotta be better and easier ways to give Xiaoyu protection, you know?
It's
This
just
is
a panda.
the
Come
second
on
time
now.
Heihachi's raised a bear. Actually, no, sorry, I have to scratch that. With the time jump,
It's a
the
panda, bro.
original
What you
Kuma passed
mean?
away of
Just a
natural
panda. Come on
causes.
now.
I know, that's sad, right? But don't worry, because Kuma had
Oh my
a baby
gosh,
cub,
Kuma.
and that bear is also named Kuma.
Ah!
Yeah, Heihachi isn't a very creative person, especially when you realize that Kuma is the Japanese word for bear.
No freaking
Kuma
way.
may as well be exactly the same as his dad, down to the rivalry with Paul
So
Phoenix.
that's his son.
Although there is
Okay.
one difference.
But what about in Tekken 8? No freaking way.
Yes, Kuma is in love with Panda, who always rejects his advances.
No,
I believe in
no
him.
wonder we
One
saw
day
that in
he'll win
Tekken
her
8.
over.
No wonder we
Besides
did.
being Xiaoyu's best friend, Panda is also her method of transportation. And this bear must have a rocket jet up her ass because holy shit, Panda runs about as fast as Sonic the Hedgehog. I just can't.
No, that's cap.
Sometimes.
Sonic is just way too
Jin
fast. No
Kazama
way
has
that
done
panda's
his
way
fair
too
share of
fast than
fighting,
Sonic.
though, and this earns him the rivalry.
You tell
with
me in the
Warren.
comments. You tell me
Warren
right
is a
now.
Taekwondo fighter who served under Beck from Tekken 2. But with his master hospitalized because of Ogre, the kid's gotta let out his frustration somehow.
Oh, yeah.
He and Jin once battled each other to a draw, much like Kazuya and Paul before them. And you can bet that these two will be seeing more of each other as the series goes on. Eddie Gordo, one of the coolest characters ever. Tekken 3 was my introduction to capoeira. I had never seen anyone fight with dancing flair before. It was just so damn unique.
I mean,
Eddie
yeah,
was sent
it
to
is.
prison years ago for the murder of his father, a crime he didn't commit. While behind bars, he met a capoeira master who agreed to teach Eddie everything he knew. Once he gets out of prison, he seeks out the Mishima Zaibatsu to help him find his father's killers.
Damn.
Brian Fury. Oh,
Interesting.
Man, this guy's a
Very
nut
interesting
job.
on that.
Originally a corrupt police officer in Hong Kong, Brian was
Damn.
killed when he got involved in a shootout.
Man, the police is really like that for him? Oh my goodness.
That is until his body was recovered by Dr. Abel, the creepy scientist that took out Jack. If Boskanovich
Oh
is
gosh,
the Dr.
him.
Light, then Abel is the Dr. Wily. Always feeling underappreciated by comparison, he vows to create the ultimate mad science that nobody can deny. And so he resurrects Brian with a cyborg body, all in the hopes of perfecting an army of super soldiers. As a cyborg, Brian Fury is damn near invincible. Bullets bounce off the guy. He can shrug off artillery from a tank. The dude is now so strong, he can lift incredibly heavy
What the
objects
hell?
and swing them around like it's Super Mario 64.
What?
Becoming a cyborg was the greatest thing that ever happened to the guy, because what Brian
Oh
enjoys
my
most is
gosh.
fighting. The thrill of battle, the satisfaction of killing. When he wins a
Oh
match
my
in
lord.
Tekken, he actually pummels the shit out of his downed opponent. This guy has no chill, and if you see him in a dark alleyway, you'd be wise to
Oh my
get the hell
goodness.
out of there.
He really
universe
loves
of
doing
Tekken
that, does
works
he?
in mysterious ways. Ever since Ogre awakened and went on a rampage, another being came
Oh,
to life as well.
damn.
Mokujin. Mokujin is a 2,000-year-old training dummy whose entire motivation is to
This is a
eliminate
dummy of the
Ogre.
game?
This is a unique fighter in that it mimics every other fighting style in the game, switching out how it plays
Oh, damn.
every single round. I want to say
Oh,
that
okay, yeah, that
Mokujin
makes
is
sense.
just a comic relief
Yeah.
character because all of its endings are very strange. Like, apparently Mokujin has a giant, big-breasted wife who mistreats him badly, forcing him on errands in a live-action forest.
Oh, wow.
Also, he loves playing Tekken 3, which is an arcade
Man,
in
this story is
forest.
freaking
No.
crazy,
In
man.
one ending, he literally visits the Bandai Namco headquarters for a tour, flirting with all of the ladies who work there.
What?
All of this is canon, goddammit!
I did not know
And
this was
rounding out
canon.
the roster, there's a few returning characters, but also a lot of new
This feels like
generation
filler
members.
from that
Instead of
robot.
having Martial Law, we now have his son, Forest Law. Although, you know what's weird about
there's
that?
his son.
From Tekken 4 onwards, Marshall returns to enter the tournaments, and Forest doesn't. They establish that the son fights exactly like the dad, and then they go, you know what? We like the dad better.
Damn.
King's still in the game,
That's crazy.
but it's obviously a different person. It's a boy who grew up in the original King's orphanage,
Ooh.
mentored by Armor King to be his replacement. Michelle has retired from fighting, but she taught everything she knows to her adopted daughter, Julia. Julia's goal is to reforest her land when all of a sudden the Mishima Zaibatsu kidnapped Michelle and the medallion she recovered in Tekken 2.
Damn.
It turns out that this object that got Michelle's father killed apparently has the power to control Ogre. I'm not sure if Heihachi ever figured out how to use it.
I didn't know
Remember
he could
Jane,
control the Ogre
little girl
too.
that Jack saved?
Wow.
Well, after 18 years of learning robotics, she manages to install Jack's consciousness into a new experimental body, thus creating Gunjack.
What the fuck?
The Williams sisters finally wake up from their cryosleep. Apparently, they sensed Ogre's presence, and it jolted them awake.
Holy crap.
Peculiar. Anna came out fine, but Nina emerges with amnesia. Other than her fighting and assassination skills, she doesn't remember anything about the person she used to be. What was the cryo machine's purpose anyway?
Yeah,
the reason it was
that's the
created
thing.
in the first place was so that Dr. Boscovich
What was the point of
could
that?
find the solution to eternal life. Something he was desperate to acquire after losing his daughter Alyssa to an unexpected illness. Keep that
And that's
in
why we
mind
see the
for
robot, right?
future. Yoshimitsu's looking to collect Ogre's blood to help
It was
with
in Tekken 8,
Boscovich's
the
deteriorating
robot, right?
health.
And she
A
created
plot point
her.
that is all
I mean,
but
he
forgotten
created her.
from Tekken 4 onwards.
Like, because she died.
And last but not least, Paul Phoenix is back at the ripe old age of 46, and he's looking to get the glory he could never attain. So yeah,
What
folks,
the
that's
hell?
the roster. The stage is set. Heihachi announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3, and I guess Ogre's just gonna show up. See, I've always wondered how exactly this whole thing works. The assumption is that the gathering of
Ogre's
fighters
just a
will attract
troll.
Ogre to them, but the final match also takes place in the temple that he came from. Is it empty? Is Ogre sleeping in there? Is the Green Monster Man honoring the results of the tournament, or does he coincidentally show up at the finals? I'd like to imagine that Heihachi used Michelle's medallion to control him, but it also asks the question of why have a fighting tournament at all. Maybe that Netflix Tekken series will help explain this a lot better.
Netflix
All you
Tekken
need to know is
series.
that it's a video game-ass video game, and Ogre's the final boss.
Huh.
So first up, Paul Phoenix defeats Kuma again. Seriously, this is getting to be a broken record, but this is constantly established in Kuma's backstories.
Wow.
These bears just can't catch a break.
They can't.
Shin Kazama defeats
He's
his
right,
rival
they can't.
Warang. To be honest, this isn't outright confirmed, but going by the wording of Warang's Tekken 4 prologue and his attitude in his non-canon ending, it just seems like they definitely battled each other. But of course, I could be wrong. At some point, Julia manages to rescue her mother Michelle, and Eddie Gordo discovers that the man who killed his father was none other than the late Kazuya Mishima. Oh, and at some point, Dr. Abel activates his space cannon again in the hopes of trying to kill Gunjack like he did Jack 2.
What the
And this
fuck?
ending's kind of interesting. If you watch it as is in the Tekken 7 menus today, you're getting the bad ending. The ending where Abel nukes the area so badly that it kills both Gunjack and Jane.
Damn.
For whatever reason, Tekken 3 gave Gunjack two endings.
Holy
because if you beat the story
shit.
mode a second time, the same ending will play out, except this time around, Gunjack spawns a force field that protects the two of them just fine. I don't know what the logic was there, but someone behind Tekken 7 obviously didn't know this, as only the bad ending is viewable. And that's about it. There's not much to go off of reading material from future games. The details of the tournament seem pretty ambiguous. But we definitely know how it ends. The final battle takes place in the South American ruins. It's Ogre versus Paul Phoenix. Yeah, Paul manages to hang in there until he comes face to face with the monster itself.
What?
It's a fierce fight between the two competitors, but there can only be one winner.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that winner was Paul Phoenix.
Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course,
kidding.
we saw
That's
that.
actually the lore.
Paul went undefeated through the entire
Oh.
King of Iron Fist Tournament 3, and even triumphed over Ogre.
Yeah,
The
that's a long
monster that
history.
killed
Okay,
King,
yeah.
that killed June,
That
put
was
Beck
confirmed.
in the hospital. The big bad of Tekken 3 taken out by the ultimate underdog. Incredible. Nowadays, Paul Phoenix finds himself as a bit of a comic relief character, always being put into silly situations.
Oh, yeah.
But in the 90s, this dude consistently made it to the finals of every single tournament.
He would serious at the same time, though, right?
Kazuya and Ogre.
He would serious.
I love this aspect because sometimes it gets kind of boring seeing the same main characters take the crown.
Oh, yeah.
And Paul getting so damn close when he has nothing to do with them, that's the chaos I live for. But I have to burst the bubble and explain why he didn't win the tournament. You see, Ogre actually has two forms, and while Paul celebrated over beating the first, he didn't stick around to actually see the beast transform. And thus, Ogre becomes True Ogre, a gigantic, winged, snake-armed, fire-breathing abomination that Jin Kazama takes on. Now, Tekken 4 says that Paul was undefeated, so I have to wonder if he actually battled Heihachi and Jin, or if Ogre interfered before Paul could take Jin on.
What?
Either way, Jin gets the ultimate victory.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, Jin was going crazy, yeah.
Jin Kazama has
Jin really did that.
Mother. He has won the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3.
Damn.
Too bad he won't be allowed to enjoy the victory.
What the
Jesus
fuck?
Christ! Not only is Heihachi a father, he's a shitty grandpa too.
Yeah, he fucking sucks.
Defeated, Jin is no longer
he sucks ass.
Just another blood relative.
Fucking cares about Heihachi, man. Heihachi is just.
Plus, this is Kazuya's son, which means there's a very good chance that this kid has some devilish tricks up his sleeve.
Oh yeah, he does.
And well.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh!
Damn. Oh my gosh!
Head first through a thick stone wall, was spiked into the ground from a massive fall,
literally right there,
and
man.
just gets up like it's nothing. But yeah, Jin Kazama definitely has the devil gene, and now he's on the run, not just from Heihachi, but also his dad.
Oh shit! Father versus son? So Kazuya just became a bad guy. Wow.
I personally love Tekken 4. I know it's the black sheep on a competitive level, but in terms of atmosphere and music and overall presentation, I always thought this game was amazing. It was the first entry to start having prologues before a character's story, and that saves me a world of research. Everything I told you about Tekkens 1 through 3 required me reading instruction manuals, strategy guides, and the wiki. Lots of research to do, whereas now, we've got definitive storytelling. Thank God. So 2 years have passed since the defeat of Ogre. Jin Kazama has been hiding in Brisbane, Australia, where he's been unlearning Heihachi's teachings. Because Jin now loathes the Mishima bloodline and everything associated with it. Heihachi has been searching for him this whole entire time. You see, even though the Zaibatsu recovered Ogre's body, he can't actually use its power without one key ingredient. The Devil Gene. Without his grandson, there's just nothing
lord,
he
bro.
can do.
Good fucking lord.
But one day, the Zaibatsu brings him brand new information about G Corporation, a biotech firm that deals in genetic research. It turns out that after the King of Iron Fist Tournament 2, they recovered Kazuya's body from the volcano. How did they know to find him in there? Was Heihachi just bragging to everyone he knew? Like, yeah, I threw my bitch-ass son in there. It was awesome!
Yeah.
But if the company has Kazuya's body, that means Heihachi can steal it and get the Devil Gene. So he sends in the Tekken Force, the Zaibatsu's military squad, to ransack the G Corporation building. They bust in, dispose of the scientists, steal all kinds of data like it's nothing.
Wow.
Until they don't. Because all of a sudden, one man single-handedly kicks their ass.
There he is. There he is. You're still alive, yeah? Woo! Whoa! Damn.
Yeah. Mad Science rears its ugly head again because the G Corporation actually brought this fucker back from the dead.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they also performed various experiments on Kazuya over the years, helping him discover a way to unify the Devil Gene, to eliminate the other persona and gain complete control.
Persona. Damn! Damn, bro.
Bad day for Heihachi. But this presents an opportunity.
Yeah, bad day for him.
Announces the king of Iron Fist Tournament 4, and instead of just getting a trophy, the winner will gain control of the Mishima Zaibatsu itself. Ah, damn! Kazuya definitely recognizes this for the trap that it is, but gladly participates anyway.
So he just participates in the tournament?
And his father's survival, also rushes in to eliminate his family.
Already, just like that?
Certainly no love loss for
man, really he's trying to get to the tournament. Wow.
Yeah, Tekken 4's got a lot going on in the story, with only 3 of the characters being new.
Tekken 4 looks insane.
Gordo, we have Christy Montero. She is the granddaughter of the capoeira master who taught Eddie how to fight.
Oh, damn.
After Iron Fist 3, Eddie passed this knowledge on to her, making her gameplay damn near identical. When Eddie leaves to confront his father's killer, she chases after her
gameplay, my goodness.
Tournament. And then there's Craig Marduk, a Vale Tudo cage fighter.
Damn,
this guy was on top of the mixed martial arts world.
Hey, he's huge as shit.
But then one day he got caught in some kind of scandal, and with public shame comes bitterness and resentment. Marduk is an angry motherfucker. He takes what he wants and no one will deny him.
Oh yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. You need to get with me, girl.
I am not into Neanderthals.
Oh yeah, you're definitely not. Oh damn.
I always get what I want.
Damn.
I'm sure he'll wait for Anna to wake up and politely ask again for consent.
That guy's insane, bro. Oh my gosh.
When he picks a fight with someone and murders them. This gets him sent to prison.
Oh yeah.
Serving a much longer
he gotta go. He gotta go for that.
One who manages to pay off the judiciaries and invites Marduk to Iron Fist 4.
Wow.
Who is this benefactor? It's King. For you see, the man that
Marduk
murdered was actually Armor King.
King, yeah.
Armor King is dead, and his apprentice wants revenge. He enters the tournament hell-bent on destroying his master's killer.
Damn.
Steve Fox is a young British boxer with a weird scar on his arm. He was adopted as a kid and doesn't remember his childhood. One day, he refused to throw a fight for a mafia group known as the Syndicate.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. You'll get your ass beat, too.
Frustrated from all the subterfuge.
You would.
Rather than live his life in fear, he chooses to join Iron Fist 4. Naturally, that puts him in the spotlight, and so the Syndicate hires an assassin to murder the man at the tournament. That assassin being Nina Williams, who still hasn't regained her memory. But she'll have to watch out for Lei Wulan, whose new case involves bringing down the Syndicate. Li Chaolan's evolution has always been fascinating to me. See, this guy was kicked out of the Zaibatsu for siding with Kazuya, a guy he really doesn't like. And at first, he was kind of bitter about that, but then Lee decides to turn his life around. He adopts a new persona, becoming Violet, the CEO of Violet Systems. This company creates robots from housekeepers to fighting machines.
So he was creating those robots
to be the future. And this move pays off because the guy ends up as a playboy billionaire living in a mansion in the Bahamas.
What?
I gotta imagine the thing that attracts all the ladies
what the hell?
is his gigantic cock. Holy moly, even John Holmes would be jealous of this guy.
Why?
I swear to God, I didn't edit that image. That is real. But I love the changing of expectations here. See, you'd expect him to be a rich fuckboy, the dickhead rival Heihachi always wanted him to be.
Is he really like that in the game?
He is really chill.
There's no way he is.
He's always siding with the good guys. He's always being courteous and lovely. The guy has a catchphrase now.
Charismatic, huh?
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Anyway, he enters the tournament to help demonstrate the capabilities of Combat, a machine he designed that can copy any fighting style.
Holy crap.
This thing is a playable character and operates exactly like Mokujin did. Paul Phoenix did defeat Ogre, but since he left before its final form, he was not recognized as the winner of the last tournament. Paul becomes bitter, despondent, and even hated as his fans get tired of his whining. The dude's dojo goes under and he's basically living in the streets. He enters the tournament to once again prove the critics wrong.
Oh yeah.
And his buddy martial law isn't doing much better.
He has to prove them right.
The restaurant goes bankrupt competing with another restaurant chain. And this basically becomes the guy's constant struggle. Every single tournament from this point onwards, Law is always desperately competing for cash.
Wow.
And that's all I have to say.
He just wants that money.
Kuma was
just
not
wants that.
happy about losing to Paul Phoenix. So he figured to get his animal instinct back, he needed to leave the cushy comfort of the Zaibatsu and return to the wilderness. And out there he gets that edge a bear like him is supposed to have. Brian Fury loves being a cyborg, but unfortunately, he has a very tiny lifespan.
Oh yeah, he must have.
Deteriorating, and only Dr.
I feel like
Abel,
these characters have been going through a lot over these years now.
Save him. He enters the tournament to get closer to his creator.
Oh yeah.
Julia invested money into G Corporation because they were the only company willing to help reforest her land. But after the Zaibatsu raided their labs, the reforestation data disappeared with them. She enters to get it back. And with that, the stage is set. It's a lot of setup, but this game has a lot of story.
Oh yeah, of course it does. It's Tekken. What do you expect from Tekken?
In Tekken 5, we get artwork depicting this, and there's no way that Paul could have lost.
Yeah.
Steve might have faced off with Nina beforehand, but there's no real evidence to say that. But now it's time for another crazy reveal.
Oh, let's see.
Wei Wulan comes to Steve with information that he found in the Zaibatsu's mainframe. And this is bombshell stuff. Basically, Heihachi was trying to absorb Ogre's power, but he had to do a lot of experimenting to get results.
What the fuck?
And what makes better test subjects than children? But
what?
Heihachi doesn't abduct children. Oh, no.
Why?
Instead, he takes advantage of the cryo chambers he's come back to and impregnates Nina Williams through in vitro fertilization.
Nah.
Oh, yeah.
Nah. Oh, nah.
Steve is Nina's lab baby.
I don't like this at all. I don't like this. This is fucked up.
Like it's some kind of horror show.
This is fucked up.
You know, when you remember that Anna was also in cryosleep, it really makes you wonder if she's got a kid out there too. Good lord. When the Syndicate briefs Nina on her target, she finds this surprising and decides to give up on the mission. But she's not exactly broken up over this.
Oh, yeah, she must have that. No.
To Steve. Hell, she willingly works with Heihachi later, reinforcing her cold, detached nature.
No, all the shit
is
crazy to me.
Nothing personal. Afterwards, Lei Wulan would take down the Syndicate for good. King faces off with Marduk and absolutely destroys him. But it's still not enough. King follows Marduk into the hospital where he plans to end his life for good.
What?
But as he's about to deliver the killing
Why is he trying to do it?
He notices the cage fighter's belongings on the table. And seeing that photo of Marduk's family
made
King realize that if he were to go through with this, he would be no better.
Yeah, it'll be messed up if he did that.
As long as you can take the
It'll be messed up if he did that.
Now Brian Fury ends up meeting with Dr. Abel, but
if it's something's like important, you can't do that. No, why would he do that? Why?
Considering Brian's entire motivation for entering this tournament was to extend his lifespan, I'm not really sure why he did this. Brian loves being a cyborg. The guy would be dead otherwise, so what gives? Brian falls unconscious after this punch, but Yoshimitsu,
what gives to him then if he wants to do that shit?
Ends up finding him. He takes Brian to the Manji clan's headquarters, where the good Dr. Boskanovich tells him that he will absolutely help. Well, ain't that nice of him? I wonder how Brian will repay the favor. But it should be mentioned that Dr. Abel never comes back. He's not in Tekken 5, not in Tekken 6, and when he does get a mention in Tekken 7, it's in the past tense, referring to the late Doctor's legacy.
But why don't they bring him back, though? That's the thing.
Dead, so I have to make assumptions.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Brian's ending is absolutely canon, so there's no reason to assume that he didn't destroy Abel.
Yeah.
Kind of surprising.
I want to bring him back.
They would have kept that character around.
Yeah.
For the 4th time in a row, Paul Phoenix faces off with Kuma. Technically the 2nd, but you know what I mean. But wallowing in misery can't compare to training in the wilderness.
Damn.
Kuma does what his father couldn't and defeats Paul Phoenix. At long last, right?
Good
he's not that
lord.
Much of a joke character if he can
Good
beat
lord,
the man
bro.
Ogre. Lee ends up facing off with Kazuya, but the Playboy is still no match for his stepbrother.
Violet.
He and Combat both suffer defeat. With victory over Lee, Cass is all set to face off with his son, Jin Kazama. But unfortunately, the kid doesn't show up and ends up disqualified from the tournament.
Damn.
And that's because Heihachi sicked the Tekken Force onto him, where they proceed to drug and capture the lad. Thus, the final battle is a three-peat, as it's once again between Kazuya and Heihachi.
His grandfather, yeah. I mean, his father, yeah.
When you play as any of the non-Mishimas, Heihachi is typically the final boss. Now,
oh yeah, he is the final boss. What do you expect from him?
Black gi. But with anyone else,
father like son.
Always enters the arena in a fundoshi. After all, Heihachi is a warrior's warrior. He doesn't want any tricks. He doesn't need assistance. He wants to fight completely naked.
What the
only problem
fuck?
is that it's incredibly revealing. Heihachi's bare
It's like
ass
no
is
more.
staring the player right in the face. Look at that thing. The string is riding right up his ass crack. I can practically see his taint. I don't mean to be disrespectful to Japanese culture, but good lord. Am I a gamer or a proctologist?
Bro. Oh
So
my
after a
gosh,
tough
shut the
bout,
fuck
believe it
up,
or
bro.
not,
Damn.
Heihachi
I
once
mean, he
again
know. I mean,
defeats
he's right.
Kazuya.
But
I know,
what the
right?
fuck are you on,
After that
bro? Come
amazing
on now.
opening, after all those years of wanting revenge,
That's how
and
Japanese
the old
is,
man
bro.
Still pulls it off. Heihachi is the official winner of the King of Iron Fist Tournament 4.
I want to say something really quick. I know we're almost done with the video, but I didn't even know this Tekken lore was that crazy. I didn't know that for sure. Like, the fact that Heihachi was just like, he killed his son because he just wants to get that power up. But now when we get to Jin, right? Jin was trying to go after him and also his father too as well, but what he did though, right? But this is like the same thing. They want to get revenge on their son, father, and the grandson. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is fucking insane to me. What is happening right now? Also, my bad, guys. I had to step away for a second on the computer because I know we're close being done. We have like 49 minutes left, but let's get back right into it.
But the old man's not done, and he tells Kaz that he can lead him to Jin. So the two travel deep into the Zaibatsu compound to a temple in the forest known as Hanmaru. There, Kazuya finds Jin tied up in chains, which couldn't be more perfect.
What the fuck?
The
Damn.
devil takes over Kazuya once again and explains that
my
when Jun
gosh.
and Kaz got together, a part of himself went away into the body of Jin. Hence why he has the devil gene.
Oh yeah,
But
of course the
now's
devil
time
gene
to
takes
take
over him
that
too,
power
yeah.
back. Or so the devil thinks. Because the 20 years of research that Kazuya has done has helped teach him how to unify this power. Fighting from within, Kazuya eliminates the devil persona completely, incorporating it into his own being.
Shit.
There is no devil anymore, only Kazuya.
Oh yeah.
Sweet, he's a good guy now, right?
Finally.
Oh, don't be silly. Kaz may be in control, but he still wants the same thing.
Oh
The
yeah.
power to conquer the world.
That's like with Heihachi, yeah.
So Jin
Damn.
and Kazuya battle each other for the first
Holy
time.
crap,
a
bro.
double gene clash between father and son. And in the end,
Just damn.
Jin Kazama proves his strength by beating his old man.
Yeah, his father.
That's when Heihachi takes advantage and picks a fight too.
Bro,
But this
come
kid is
on,
so
man.
damn talented,
Come
he
on.
exposes both of the Misha
The father and the
at
grandpa
exact
facing off
same
against the
time.
grandson and the
chance
son.
to
Oh my
rid
goodness.
The world of this menace is finally
My gosh,
here.
family is family, huh? Oh, she was there, yeah. He didn't want to end her, yeah.
Jin flies away from Hanmaru, leaving his vengeance behind.
Oh my
His
gosh.
father, his grandfather, they get to live for another day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least one of them does.
Tekken 5. Let's get it.
Immediately after Jin leaves, the temple gets bombarded by jack robots belonging
Man,
to the
this
Z
history is
Corporation.
between these
company
three
has
from the
betrayed
family.
Kazuya and is now looking to dispose of him as well as Heihachi. Temporary team up. Let's fucking
My
go!
gosh, that's
the
insane.
opening to Tekken 5 is one of the greatest that's ever existed. Kaz and Heihachi kicking all kinds
Oh
of
my
robot ass
gosh.
as the most badass tag team ever.
Damn.
For a while, anyway. Dick
Woo!
move, Kazuya. Dude makes his getaway as the Jacks
Kazuya's
pile
insane,
on.
man. What? Are you serious? Wow. Oh my gosh.
Ugh, that's so badass. But yeah, folks, Heihachi Mishima is dead.
Wow.
Super dead. Never coming back.
Wow.
Unless you immediately start playing as either Kazuya or Raven in this game.
Wow.
Because you've been watching the cutscenes and, oh, never mind.
Oh.
There he is.
Oh, never mind.
Heihachi is playable in Tekken 5, so the whole getting killed thing is kinda meaningless.
Huh.
The Jacks blow up Hanmaru, and Heihachi gets blasted from the site. Just launched across the entire forest, eventually landing in a grave in a nearby cemetery. He penetrates the dirt and
crazy.
just lies there, and lies there, and lies there. And
What?
2 months later, Heihachi finally wakes up. Completely fine.
So he was
ready
out
to
of a
bust
coma.
some
I
heads.
see.
The man is unkillable.
Yeah.
The guy was literally buried under dirt for months, and he didn't need to eat food or anything.
No, he
I
didn't.
think he might secretly be a Kryptonian.
No, he didn't. Nope.
Yeah, interesting thing about Tekken 5. According to Tekken 6, Heihachi only woke up after Tekken 5. His entire existence is non-canon because he was never there.
He
Which is
was
a
never
shame,
there, yeah.
Because he missed out on a family reunion. For you see, the Hanmaru Temple's explosion didn't just send Heihachi and Kazuya away, it also woke someone up.
Yeah.
The dead man that was chained up in the basement, Jinpachi Mishima.
Jinpachi Mishima.
Heihachi's dad is here, back from the
Heihachi's
dead.
dad.
I alluded to this earlier, but yes,
Wow.
Heihachi killed his father and stole the Mishima Zaibatsu from him.
Damn.
Quick thing. He didn't just shoot
Oh my
him or
days,
throw him into a
bro.
volcano. Instead, he chained him up in Hanmaru and made him lift a giant boulder until he eventually
Oh my
starved to death.
gosh.
Seems like an especially horrible way to
That's
die.
insane, yeah.
Bad father, bad grandpa, terrible child.
Yeah.
Good lord.
This family is
Jinpachi was
terrible.
dead
Damn.
Until some thing took
But
over
it's
his
interesting from the
body and
from the story
resurrected
from
him.
when it comes to that.
It's not the devil gene. It's just some evil force that's never really elaborated on. Seriously, beyond Lei Wulan's ending, no one talks about what's happened to him. Even
Yeah.
the Tekken wiki is just like, it's a
I don't think
demonic
no one
force
does,
of
though.
unknown origins.
No one does.
So, yeah. The idea is that this demon force is slowly taking over his body, and when it gains full control, it's going to destroy the world. So, using his last ounce of humanity, Jinpachi takes control of the Mishima Zaibatsu. And 2 months later, he announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5. Because why call the military? Why kill yourself? Just get a bunch of martial artists to take you out. Dumb plot, but hey, that's the setup for Tekken 5.
What the
Once
fuck?
again, the prize is the Zaibatsu itself, which intrigues Jin Kazama, who is now suffering nightmares that trigger his devil gene.
Yeah, this story's
His
insane. Oh
alter
my
ego
gosh.
is too
I feel like
dangerous, and
Tekken
Jin
5
can't hold it off
this is like
forever.
even more insane
He
from that.
enters
Is
the
it? Yeah,
tournament
Tekken 5
to
is
find a
insane.
solution. We got
Goodness
another batch
gracious.
of newbies to talk about, one of which you've already seen.
Yeah.
Raven. There's not
Raven.
much to say about him. He's a special operatives agent working for a shadowy organization. He's entered the tournament to collect information.
Yeah.
Nondescript, non-specific
He's undercover.
information.
Undercover
He
for
is
that,
but one
yeah.
of many Ravens that all serve under one leader, the aptly named Master Raven. All you need to know about Raven is that he's so cool he can stand on top of a fighter jet while it's flying at full speed.
No, nah.
Hell, he can
Oh,
stand
nah.
underneath one. Those are some magnetic boots.
He's
man.
insane. He's raw as
Next
shit.
up is Feng Wei, a Chinese Kempo fighter who wants to be the strongest man in the world. After
Goodness
getting into
gracious.
fights outside of his training, he gets scolded by his master. Naturally, Feng took that as an insult and murdered the man. He then spends his time seeking out a scroll known as the Secrets of Godfist, something he believes will give him ultimate power.
Oh my gosh.
He attacks every dojo he comes across looking for the thing until it becomes clear that it's in the clutches of the Mishima Zaibatsu. He enters the tournament to retrieve it.
Wow.
But his dojo attacks
Wow.
another competitor,
Oh.
and her name is Asuka Kazama.
Asuka.
I want to repeat that. Asuka Kazama.
Asuka
This girl
Kazama.
is a distant relative of Jun Kazama and the cousin of Jin Kazama.
What?
I have no idea how big the Kazama family is.
I
but
have
it's
no
clearly
idea.
far
That's
from
really
God.
big.
After
That's
Feng
really
Wei
big on
attacks
that
her
for the
family's
Kasawa
dojo,
family.
The girl rushes into the tournament to get revenge. She apparently doesn't know that Jin is related to her, so I guess
Yeah.
Jin didn't talk with the rest of her family.
Uh-huh.
Next up is Lily de Rochefort,
Oh.
the daughter of a wealthy oil tycoon.
Oh.
One day, she got abducted by criminals who wanted to ransom her for money. But Lily didn't go without a fight, and she managed to beat the crap out of her captor. The thrill of combat was intoxicating, so from that point onwards, she spent her time learning martial arts in secret so as not to upset her troubled father.
Yeah.
One day she gets into a fight and defeats Forest Law, and that's when he hands her the invitation to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5.
Holy
She
shit.
figures what could be better for her daddy than to obtain the Mishima Zaibatsu. You remember Roger the boxing kangaroo? Well, it turns out that he found a wife and the two had a baby. Roger Jr. And everything was going hunky-dory until strangers came and kidnapped the guy. So Roger Jr., inside the pouch of his mother, enters the tournament to save his father.
Wow.
Well, let's be honest, his mom is doing all the legwork. I guess she was genetically altered by Dr. Voskanovich too. And also, isn't it kind of dangerous to keep your child on your person? When you get into fist fights with
like,
some of
what the hell?
deadliest
I mean, it's a
warriors known to
kangaroo.
man?
What you mean?
Your child could get fucking killed out there.
Yeah.
Bad kangaroo. Bad. Xiao Yu managed to find out the Mishima history
Nah,
after
bro, that's
Iron Fist
insane. 4,
and she feels really sad that Heihachi died. If only he hadn't thrown his son into a ravine. And then all of a sudden, she meets a scientist who knows how to build a time machine. What? Who is this guy?
I don't know.
How did Xiao Yu find him?
I don't know.
Where the fuck do you learn to build something like that? Don't worry, Tekken doesn't get so crazy that characters travel back in time.
Man, this guy's funny.
At least, not yet. King may have been satisfied with defeating Marduk, but the guy was undefeated and he doesn't take his loss very well. The dude literally steals the late Armor King's Jaguar mask and demands a rematch. King can't let this disrespect stand, so he accepts the challenge.
That's interesting.
Remember
Wow.
how Dr. Boskanovich was going to save
That's very
Brian
interesting.
Fury? Well, he does. He gives the guy a perpetual generator, and now he can live a long life again. Brian thanks the doctor by going apeshit and destroying the Manji clan's laboratory. He kills tons of people in the process, forcing Yoshimitsu to chase him into the tournament for retribution.
Damn.
After Lei Wulon disbanded the syndicate, Nina found herself out of a job.
Wow.
Lost, she decides to confide in the woman who claims to be her sister. She calls up
Wow.
Nina for a meeting, but as soon as she sees her again, the memories come flooding back. Nina remembers everything, including how the Zaibatsu
That's
defeated
interesting.
her. Instantly, Nina starts trying to kill Anna, and the two battle for literal days.
What the
That's
fuck?
a lot of stamina. Eventually, the two get exhausted and agree to settle things at the tournament.
That bitch.
After Christie's grandfather finally gets out from prison, she and Eddie find that he's incredibly sick. It's after talking to a doctor that it's discovered he's terminally ill. Lacking the money needed to save his life, the only hope these two have is to win the tournament. After Kazuya was defeated during Iron Fist 2, Ganryu retired from sumo wrestling. He still liked to keep track of Zaibatsu events, and that's how he comes across Julia Chang.
I mean, yeah, I
Reminder,
guess.
This guy was madly in love with Michelle, and now he's become infatuated with her daughter at the ripe old age of 55. Julia's still seeking Jeet Corporation's reforestation data. Ganryu figures retrieving it himself would be the key to winning her heart. But he's not the oldest competitor returning, because Jinpachi sent his best friend Wang Jinrei
for the yawning guys, I don't know what's happening.
to compete as well. And let's see, at this point in the story, Wang would be 105 years old? The dude was 82 back in Tekken 1? His bones must be as stable as graham crackers at this point. But hey, maybe he'll surprise me.
Maybe,
And
I don't know.
On that note, let's talk about the tournament.
But he's old as shit.
First
Oh my
up,
gosh.
Jin Kazama defeats Wang Jinrei.
Very old.
Okay, never mind. This is arguably disappointing because the thing we know most about Wang's backstory is that he was best friends with Jinpachi Machine.
Wow.
The two had an incredibly close bond.
Oh
If anyone
my
deserved to take him down,
gosh.
it was Jinrei. But according to Tekken 6, he didn't even get to see the guy.
Nope.
Canon
Nope.
can often be
Nope.
anticlimactic.
Nope.
King and Marduk battle for the second time in a row, and once again, King emerges victorious. Although this outcome changes things forever. Like an echo of the past, Marduk realizes that King is the real deal, and rather than hold a grudge, he chooses to be his ally. King and Marduk become best friends and also a formidable tag team. All that bad blood gone forever. Nina faces off with Anna and gains the victory.
That didn't satisfy me at all. I refuse to kill you. You bitch!
Oh wow.
Paul Phoenix enters the tournament with new determination after losing to Kuma. And of course, because someone fucking hates Paul, he finds himself battling Kuma yet again. This time, Paul squeaks out a victory, but he is so exhausted from the encounter that he bows out of the tournament. Yoshimitsu clashes with Brian Fury and scores the win. Afterwards, the cyborg makes his escape, living to fight another day. Asuka meets with Lily for the first time and defeats her. But this would be the worst mistake of her life because she's made a lifetime rival for doing so.
Oh, yeah.
Lily forever obsessed with wanting to one-up the young Kazama. And that's all I got to say about Asuka because the girl never ends up crossing paths with Feng Wei, the guy she wanted to fight. She also never interacts with her cousin Jin, thus wasting a lot of potential the character could have had. Since Feng doesn't win the tournament, eventually he just breaks into the Mishima Zaibatsu's vault and steals the scroll he was looking for.
Makes sense.
And instead of gaining ultimate power,
Makes sense.
he instead finds words of wisdom. He who destroys all other fighting styles and makes them his own shall become a warrior superior to all men. Well, golly, thanks for that enlightenment. That's the equivalent of saying, if you want to master something, you should practice at it until you get good.
I mean, you have to, though. Of course.
Feng takes this advice, and his story hasn't budged since. Jin faces off with his rival Hwoarang, who was recently reunited with his master Beck after he finally woke up from his coma. And taking the new advice that Beck put onto him, Hwoarang gives it his all in the fight, and he actually wins! Yes, he defeats the badass hero of the last two games, putting him down and knocking him out. Holy shit! This is what I like to see. The Mishimas aren't so invincible. But while he lies unconscious, something else wakes up. Devil Jin. The
Devil Jin is back.
Up, catching Hwoarang
Devil
off
Jin
guard
is back.
And just brutalizes the guy. Fucks him up good to the point that he has to be sent to the hospital in critical condition. The judges have no reason to deny it, so Jin ultimately wins the fight and thus advances to the finals. Devil Jin is an actual character in the games. He is a separate fighter from Jin.
Oh, yeah.
Who uses the Mishima
he is.
That was in Tekken and Tekken Tag.
Tekken 8 as well.
A lot of people didn't like that Jin fought so differently in
What's
Tekken
next?
4.
Tekken 9, Tekken 10? Where is that going to come out? When Tekken 9 going to come out?
Where the hero of the story has
I know Tekken 9 is way far off from that.
Playable. Revenant
We're not going to get in that game. I don't know, man.
It's just a thing. I don't know what to tell you. Ganryu doesn't win the tournament, but he does sneak into the Mishima Zaibatsu labs and actually finds Julia's reforestation data. He meets with her to deliver the goods. Dude, you just had to put the data disk on your sweaty, smelly dick, didn't you? Good God. Oh, Ganryu. He did a great thing for the wrong reason. I don't think she'll be interested anytime soon. However, this is a great day for Julia because getting that research back allows her to actually grow a little seedling, thus making it possible
Oh my
to
gosh.
reforest her land. The thing she's always wanted, now back on track. In another laboratory, one abandoned by Dr. Boskanovich, Roger Jr. goes looking for some kind of trace of his dad. And well...
Oh my gosh, he said you fucked up now.
Yeah, Roger is a terrible father and husband.
Yeah.
He wasn't abducted at
Yeah.
all. Just enjoying a
he is.
And cheating on his wife. He's been smooching all kinds of lady kangaroos.
Yeah, stupid, bro. What the fuck are you on?
Financially. What a dick.
Yeah.
What I find amusing about all this is that Roger Jr. ends up running into Alex, Roger's dinosaur rival.
Damn.
After kicking his ass in a very comical way,
yeah, kangaroos go fucking crazy, dude. You know how kangaroos are.
Off with Roger's wife.
Huh.
The dinosaur is now a beloved father figure within the kangaroo family.
No fucking way.
Although Roger realizes what a terrible mistake he's made.
You're a terrible father, bro. What you mean?
The fact that this goofy shit is canon warms my cold dead heart. What else happens? Well, Well, Kazuya does participate in the tournament, but he doesn't seem to stick
Bro,
around for long.
so fucking
Eventually,
stupid.
He runs into one of his old bodyguards, the returning Bruce Irvin, who's
Oh my
alive
gosh,
as well.
that's so fucking
And then
stupid.
The two just leave. Kazuya may have lost to Jin, but they never say that's what's happened. And even in Jin's story mode, there's never a mandatory battle between the two. The only thing Tekken 6 and 7 likes to say is that Kazuya eventually gets revenge on the corporate bigwigs. There is more to it than that, but first, I gotta cover the finale. Jin Kazama is once again unstoppable, and he comes face to face with the great-grandfather he's never met before.
Grandfather,
and the old man isn't just a master martial artist, he's also grown a goddamn
oh my
demon
gosh
that shoots unblockable fireballs.
Damn.
In the middle of a
he's fucking evil
tornado,
shit. Oh my
Jin
gosh.
battles his
He's more evil
great-granddad
than
with everything
Hayachi. My
stopped.
gosh.
And once again, the young Kazama ekes out a victory, destroying Jinpachi for good.
Oh my gosh.
But this presents an interesting ending to Tekken 5. Instead of running off as Devil Jin, he stays put and inherits the Mishima Zaibatsu. All those Yakuza, the Tekken Force, the entire conglomerate, it all belongs to the most noble and heroic member of the Mishima family. And it makes you wonder, now that Jin has all of this power, what's he gonna do with it?
Yeah, Jin has everything. Tekken 6. Let's see what this game's all about.
So the story begins with Jin Kazama starting World War III.
Holy gosh, what?
Oh yes, I'm serious.
No
The first
fucking
thing that
way.
Jin does when he gains control is start claiming oil refineries, space stations, anything that can give the Zaibatsu power. He expands the military.
So
and sends
he's
the
more
Tekken
evil
Force
too as
to
well?
every
My
corner of the
goodness, what's
planet
going
just
on
to
with this
tear shit up
family?
and conquer everything. And there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. He just attacks civilians because he can.
Damn.
The Mishima Zaibatsu is so strong and has so much power that they somehow managed to conquer the United Nations. I'm no geopolitical expert, but that sounds fucking impossible.
Yeah, it is
The governments
impossible.
of the world all just sit there, impotent to combat this
It's
threat.
just impossible to
But
see
one
this.
giant organization is leading the charge, forming the biggest resistance to the Zaibatsu's evil. And that organization is G Corporation. See, after killing all of the executives that betrayed him, Kazuya became the new CEO of the company. And I
Holy
thought it was
crap.
just a small biotech firm, but apparently it's expanded quite a bit.
Put a new company,
Now
yeah,
G
for
Corp
that.
has its own private military with thousands of soldiers and tanks. It's the face of multimedia entertainment,
Oh, damn.
sponsoring such J-pop idols as Lucky Chloe.
Lucky Chloe.
Who, of course, is a martial artist and playable character.
Oh, yeah.
The G Corporation is using its mad science to create
Yoshimitsu,
super
oh my
soldiers in the
gosh,
form of
yo.
roided-out Hulk men
Yo.
who scream like fucking
Yoshimitsu looks
monsters.
insane in that
And even if
game.
they didn't have those, they still have the Jack units because Jane is developing them.
Goodness
for
gracious.
The company. And why not? They're the only ones taking the fight to that evil dictator, Jin Kazama. Seriously, as far as the public is concerned, Kazuya is nothing but a saint, a hero who's trying to save the world. If they only knew. Kazuya's offered a substantial bounty to anyone who can bring him Jin Kazama's head. And as a response to this, the Zaibatsu leader decides to announce the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6. Which I'm not really sure if now's the time for martial artists to be competing in tests of strength. But I gotta take a second to acknowledge how the narrative changed from this point onwards. It's the first high-definition Tekken game, the first one to have online play. And it's also the first one to have a proper story mode.
Oh, yeah.
Previously, these games have only been experienced one character at a time, fighting 8 or 9
I mean, online is
matches
pretty
and
big
taking
on
any
Tekken for
cutscene
sure.
You can get. But Tekken 6 has a full-blown scenario campaign that focuses on 2 new characters,
Yeah.
Lars Alexanderson and Alyssa Boskanovich. The story follows them the entire way through as you battle in over 38 stages, each filled with dozens of goons
Oh,
and
holy
special
crap.
bosses. It's completely canon, its events referenced in Tekken 7, which is fine, but the King of Iron Fist Tournament 6 goes completely ignored. The characters don't talk like they're preparing for it. They don't talk like it just happened. Lars and Alyssa never enter any competition.
No.
They just headed to skirmishes against the Zaibatsu and G-Corp. The side characters only seeming to be there so that you have a boss to fight. And when we get to Tekken 7, instead of having prologues that advance each fighter's story,
I'm curious how Tekken 7 is.
On one particular fight the character finds
what the fuck?
in. Unless you're a DLC character, in which case you don't even get that. Tekken 6 and 7 are far more interested in what's going on with the war and the Mishimas.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't have any tournament details anymore because there aren't any.
No.
So yeah.
Where
Lars
is it?
Alexanderson used to be the head of the Tekken Force. Apparently the dude's always been there behind the scenes, we just never got acquainted with him.
No.
But when Jin Kazama starts using the Zaibatsu to destroy the world, Lars takes a step back and asks himself, wait a minute, are we the baddies?
Yes.
And so he breaks off, managing to
You guys
take
are,
over
though.
50% of the Tekken Force with him. God damn! These turncoat Tekkens would wear new flags and call themselves Yggdrasil. It's at this point that Eddie Gordo approaches Jin for help regarding his capoeira master. See, he didn't win the last tournament, which means he still doesn't have the money to pay for his medical bills.
No.
Jin agrees to help, but only if Eddie fills the vacant spot left behind by Lars. And so Eddie Gordo becomes the leader of the Tekken Force, participating in a war he wanted nothing to do with. He shares an advisory role with Nina Williams, who acts as Jin Kazama's second-in-command.
Damn.
In fact, Nina joining the Zaibatsu encourages her sister Anna to join G Corporation along with Bruce Irvin. Quite the stables we got here. Anyway, the plot really kicks off when Yggdrasil goes on a mission to take over one of the Zaibatsu's laboratories. Lars leads his squad inside, kicking all kinds of ass.
Oh my gosh.
They come across a control room with
damn.
some kind of cryo chamber.
Just damn.
Yeah, do you remember that plot point from Tekken 3?
Yeah.
Of course you don't. During
No.
this invasion, Yggdrasil gets surprised.
I mean, it was
when
part
G
of it, though.
Corporation also
It
shows
was.
up, flooding the place with jack robots. There's a scuffle and an explosion which knocks Lars out and conveniently gives him amnesia. It's at this point that he accidentally opens the cryo chamber, unleashing Alyssa Voskanovich.
Damn.
Who is equipped with jet boosters,
Oh, yeah.
chainsaw arms,
Yeah.
and also has the
Robot,
ability
yeah.
to take off her own head.
Yeah, this
and
is
use
insane.
it
Oh
as
my
an
gosh.
explosive. She has an infinite supply of heads.
No,
thanks to
bro. Oh my
nanomachines.
gosh.
This character is so anime and over the top that even for some Tekken fans, it was too much.
Yeah.
Oh, I can handle the Devil Gene. I can handle bears who know Kung Fu. But kawaii anime robot girls who tear shit up with chainsaws? You've gone too far, Tekken. I'm more shocked about what kind of guy Dr. Voskanovich is.
Bro,
the
what
old
the
man
fuck?
lost his daughter to disease and then completely recreated her as a fighting robot.
That's fucking insane.
Really weird, man.
It isn't. It
Also
is weird.
strange, Dr. Voskanovich never
I can
appears
tell
in
right now, it is
Tekken
fucking
6
weird for
or
that.
Tekken 7. His robo-daughter plays such a significant role in the story, and he just goes bye-bye. Where is he?
Damn.
I don't think he's dead. He shows up for the tag games, trying to analyze male pattern baldness on the Mishimas. No, really. Which apparently is negated by the Devil Gene. No, really. But he himself is just gone now. The way that stories are told in Tekken is just so bizarre sometimes. Anyway, Lars and Alyssa escape the base, and since they both don't know what's going on, they decide to go on a journey for answers. One which has the fighting street thugs, the Tekken Force, robots,
Yeah, that must have been going crazy,
kangaroos,
man. Oh my goodness.
marching parade, sumo wrestlers, and even goddamn demons.
Which one's the best
There's
Tekken
so little
game?
narrative structure to the campaign that I have no idea why they're in the places that they are. What good is finding Armor King gonna do? Oh yeah, Armor King's alive. Kind of. See, after King and Marduk made up and became friends, someone ambushed the Vale Tudo fighter in the locker room. And he looks exactly like Armor King. But later, King is reminiscing about his old master when he makes a shocking discovery.
Damn. What is this?
I'm sorry, but that Jaguar mask makes everything funny. Turns out this new Armor King is the brother of the old one. Why the hell did he hide that?
I don't know, you tell me, because he fucking hide that
With
shit.
his brother? Whatever. Armor King 2 wants revenge on Marduk, and King is caught in the middle. Anyway, eventually Lars
Oops.
ends up running into Togu, one of his comrades in Yggdrasil. Hearing that the guy has amnesia, he tells him that beforehand he was looking forward to meeting Heihachi Mishima, and perhaps seeking him out will jog his memory.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Worth mentioning that Lars is a pretty chill guy. He values his squad, he knows how to joke around. The guy isn't an edgelord nor a colossal douchebag. Just keep that in mind as we get to the twist. Lars and Alyssa do indeed seek out Heihachi, who this whole entire time has been chilling in his estate. After a failed assassination attempt by the Tekken Force, he's just been plotting and scheming over how to get the Zaibatsu back.
Oh yeah, he has.
Upon seeing Heihachi, something triggers in Lars's head. His memory comes back completely, reminding him of his true heritage. Yes, Lars is actually a Mishima, a bastard child from one of Heihachi's youthful indiscretions.
What?
Because you can't have the hero of the story be anything but.
That's
With his
fucking
memory
insane.
Returned, Lars aims to kill the man who abandoned his mother.
Damn. Holy shit.
Once again, unkillable.
Yeah, unkillable.
Lars basically goes, alright, fuck it, I got more important things to do. His new goal for the game is to take down Jin Kazama and end the war. This involves breaking into the Zaibatsu headquarters, taking down the Tekken Force, Eddie Gordo, Nina Williams, even a giant demon robot named
Yeah, that's
Nancy.
a lot, bro. Oh my gosh.
Nancy. And of all the times I've gone through Tekken 6's arcade mode, I have never beaten this damn thing. It kicks you to the next match as soon as you lose, so it takes forever just to retry. Screw you, Nancy.
Oh my gosh.
But eventually Lars ends up riding the elevator into Jin's throne room, where the guy has commissioned a comically evil statue of his devil gauntlet clutching the world. Just a tad on the nose. Before Lars can take this guy out, though, Jin activates his secret weapon.
Faith mode, what the hell? Oh no.
Finding her in the Mishima laboratory was no coincidence. Dr. Boskanovich created her to serve as Jin's bodyguard.
That's fucking crazy.
And because he's the head honcho, she has to obey anything he commands. No, Alyssa, please! This isn't you! Think of all the good times we had!
But it's not
Anyway,
found.
Jin makes his escape and heads to Egypt, to a special ruin that was hidden away by magic until the Zaibatsu started destroying the world. This place houses a very nasty creature known as Azazel, the Rectifier.
Azazel, more like Azazel from X-Men.
Up, creating volcanoes and shit in the Middle East. Lars is joined by Raven and proceeds deep inside, where he encounters the G Corporation as well.
Nice.
He and Kazuya have a scuffle.
Oh, Kazuya's here.
Oh yeah, apparently all the electricity that flies off of Heihachi and Kazuya, that's a Mishima bloodline thing. I guess they descended from the thunder god Raiden. Lars reaches the center of the ruins and comes face to face with Azazel, a giant Anubis monster and by far the cheapest fucking boss in any Tekken game ever.
Really?
I swear, even on easy mode, this asshole is ridiculously cheap. I hate him with the fury of 1,000 suns. Luckily in Scenario Campaign, you have buffed
That's crazy.
stats, and you can sneak behind him while he's distracted by Raven. Double teaming this prick is so damn satisfying. Lars beats the creature, but he still has one target left, Jin Kazama. But not before being forced to battle his former friend.
Damn. Wow. Good riddance. Damn.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
The final battle. Lars, Jin, and a squadron of Tekken Force goons who love to snipe me from far away. But eventually Lars pulls off the victory. And it's now, at the end, where we finally get an explanation as to why Jin did all this.
Yeah.
So remember the nightmares he was having in Tekken 5? He was being communicated to by Azazel the Rectifier, and the beast tells Jin that the devil gene is his creation, that Azazel is the source. And when human misery gets so strong all over the world, it's going to return and destroy everyone. Only someone with the devil gene can stop him. But what if Azazel returns long after Jin and Kazuya are dead? Who will save the world then? So using the power of the Zaibatsu, Jin single-handedly attacks everything and everyone just so Azazel would wake up earlier. And sure enough, Lars did not actually defeat the beast. It comes out of the temple to bring about Armageddon.
Damn.
But Jin rushes towards it,
Damn.
punches a hole through its chest, and falls with it into a ravine.
Wow, just takes it with him. Okay.
Killed for good.
It's not for me to judge if he was right or wrong. Maybe you're such a saint. You think you can.
Oh, fuck off, lady. Yes, Jin technically saved the world, but he killed so many innocent people to get us there.
Yeah, that's his fault.
Will never be the same.
That's definitely his fault.
A lot of people were put off by the decision to turn Jin heel, and it's completely changed the character. Now he's an edgy sad boy who just wants to die.
Yeah.
To get his comeuppance for all the evil that he's done.
Yeah.
Tekken and its morality. They just didn't want everything to be so cut and dry. Lars leaves Alyssa with Li Chaolan to be restored to normal, and Raven ends up finding Jin after everything's all said and done.
Holy shit, already, just like that.
We only have one more game to talk about.
One more game, here we go. Tekken 7, baby! Let's go, Tekken 7. I know my friends play that game.
So as of August 2022, this is the newest game in the series. It has a 2-hour-long story mode that aims to explain a pressing question that many fans have had for years. Who was Heihachi's wife? Who was Kazuya's mother? Believe it or not, the identity of this character was hinted at ages ago in Tekken 2, because in the dojo stage, you can find an engraved marking pairing up the names of Heihachi and Kazumi. This is something that's actually existed since 1996.
Wow.
But Tekken is a very secretive and mysterious franchise, so it was left alone until now. Not much has changed since the end of Tekken 6.
Oh shit, Batty, oh my goodness.
Dead, but the war between the Mishima Zaibatsu and G Corporation is still raging strong. With Jin missing in the Middle East, the Zaibatsu is running aimless. This forces Heihachi to return from the shadows,
Heihachi is back
to take his company back.
Damn.
And Nina sends the entire Tekken force after the guy. Dudes armed with machine guns and grenades and rocket launchers.
My goodness.
And Heihachi still swats all of them away like the flies they are.
Damn.
Are you starting to understand why this man is one of my favorite video game characters ever?
I mean, yeah,
Heihachi
he's unstoppable.
beats Nina's ass, declaring
Oh my gosh.
the company his once again. And Nina, with nothing better to do, decides to serve under him. With the Zaibatsu back in his control, Heihachi announces the King of Iron Fist
is doing that.
7.
That's crazy.
The purpose of this competition is to draw out Kazuya and expose him for who he really is. You see, the King of Iron Fist Tournament 2 wasn't televised, so no one but Heihachi really saw his devil form. And the only time he ever transformed again is when he fled Hanmaru back in Tekken 5. No one knows what this guy is capable of, only that he's the hero who fought Jin Kazama. This tournament will be the perfect venue to show everyone that he is in fact the devil. And that's why the Zaibatsu can't possibly stop fighting this war, because they're the good guys, actually. It's quite the plan indeed. But while meditating inside of his dojo, Heihachi is visited by a special guest.
Ew.
Whoa,
there he is.
What the hell? That's Akuma. Akuma, if you're unfamiliar, is from Capcom's Street Fighter franchise. Ever since Super Street Fighter 2, this guy has been a special boss fight, one of the deadliest villains in the lore.
That's insane.
He's a man who sacrificed his humanity to gain the ultimate power, the Satsui no Hado.
Yeah,
his
he's insane for that.
Motivation is to find a truly worthy opponent, constantly egging Ryu, the series hero, into joining the dark side. That's all well and good, but what the hell's he doing here? I'm a stranger to the concept of guest characters, but they're not typically driving the plot. Like, when you're playing Mortal Kombat 11, it's not like RoboCop shows up out of nowhere to save the day.
RoboCop.
But Akuma is integral, because he is here to deliver vengeance on behalf of Kazumi Mishima.
That's crazy. Wow. Really, holy shit, that's crazy.
バカバカしい。その話が本当なら、なぜ今頃になって現れた？うぬらが力を持つまで待っておっただけのこと。
What?
Huh.
For context, Kazumi died on the exact same day that Kazuya was thrown off the cliff.
Damn.
That was like 40 years ago.
It was.
Akuma was given a task.
I don't know why he
two
was
men
saying
from
that though. It
destroying
was
the
40
world,
years ago.
And he waited until after a fucking world war to start killing them. Nothing about Tekken makes any goddamn sense.
He's right.
So the two battle
He's
each other,
right.
and because Capcom
These
has
characters
really
just
tight
love
protection
just
on
love
their
these
character,
characters. Like
Akuma,
Ben and
of
Namco love
course,
these characters, huh?
defeats Heihachi.
一瞬戦撃。
But to be fair,
Damn.
Tekken's very protective too, because right after delivering the Raging Demon, Akuma buries Heihachi's body.
Damn.
Plants him in the ground, leaving to go after Kazuya next.
Damn.
But Heihachi isn't dead.
Rise from your grave.
This is getting comical now. The Raging Demon is supposed to be pretty strong. It is canon in the Street Fighter games that M. Bison was killed by this very move, his soul needing to transfer to another body that he had prepared. Oh yeah, Street Fighter's pretty weird too, but still, Heihachi survived all of that. Unkillable. But for some reason, Heihachi wants the world to think he's dead, so the Zaibatsu does just that. They cancel the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7. But why? Instead, the new plan is to wait for Kazuya and Akuma to
I don't
battle,
fucking know. You
and
tell
when they
me.
do, Kaz will have no choice but to turn devil form in order to survive. And the Zaibatsu will be there with drones to take pictures, exposing him to the world. And that's basically what happens.
Holy shit.
But also, Heihachi decides to kill them both by utilizing Dr. Abel's space cannon.
Wow.
You remember, the thing that took out Jack 2 is still up there, and it's in the possession of Heihachi.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, oh my
He
gosh!
fires the thing off, destroying the G Corporation's Millennium Tower.
No,
Why did
bro.
no one think to do that before?
I don't fucking know. You tell me.
And of course, Kazuya is still alive. The world turns on him. Heihachi sends the devil pictures to the media, and everyone is so shocked and horrified to learn that the world's savior is actually Satan. So Kazuya gets revenge by firing his big fuck-off devil lasers into outer space, destroying Dr. Abel's space cannon. And this causes satellite debris to crash into a major city, which turns the public back against the Zaibatsu.
Holy shit.
I'm not kidding. Apparently the public is under the impression that the Zaibatsu did it on purpose. Why would they do that?
I don't fucking know.
Fighting was inconceivable to the average person, and they soon forgot about Kazuya transforming into a devil.
Because apparently that's something you forget. Anyway, one thing Tekken 7 does different from
Man,
the
this
other
guy's
games
fucking
is
funny.
tell its story through the eyes of a journalist. One who's covering the Mishima family, looking for information on how this whole war started. He approaches Heihachi asking for an interview, and surprisingly, he accepts. See, this is Heihachi's last stand. With the reputation of the Mishima Zaibatsu all but ruined, he challenges his son to one last fight.
Damn.
Winner take all, there can be only one.
Only
so
one?
in case he doesn't come back,
Wow.
Heihachi decides to get his story out there.
That's
revealing the
insane,
truth
bro.
of
Oh
his
my
wife's
gosh.
death. He was married to Kazumi Hachicho, a fellow martial artist that Heihachi loved very much. That is until she started to show symptoms of a split personality. And this alter ego reveals that she married into the Mishima family purely to kill Heihachi before he eventually becomes a threat to the world. The Hachicho family has been forever cursed with the devil gene, exacting vengeance on whomever they please. They have a fierce fight, but again, Heihachi is just too damn powerful.
Yeah. Damn! Oh
Just
my
brutal.
gosh.
Snaps his wife's neck despite how devastated it leaves him. And so we have a bit of a retcon here. Heihachi did not throw his son off the cliff to see if he was worthy of the Mishima name. He did it because he wanted to see if his son had the devil gene.
Oh yeah.
Which is a little confusing.
Oh yeah, but that's
If he
confusing for
does
sure. I don't know why he
then
did
would
that
you
though.
raise him knowing full well there's a split personality just waiting to kill you?
He's just a fucked up man. What you mean?
Well, good one, dude. You just murdered your innocent son for no reason. Oh, the twisted morality of Tekken, trying to make us sympathize with the man who laughs maniacally and bombs buildings with laser cannons. Kazumi knew he was a monster, so I'm not sure she's actually a
like
villain.
Kazumi from Kamen Rider.
Kazumi and Heihachi meet inside a volcano for their final showdown. And my recap can't possibly do it justice. It's got multiple phases, flashbacks to the past 20 years of Tekken games, Kaz fights in his devil form, Heihachi turns Super Saiyan. These guys just beat the living shit out of each other, Kaz even nuking his old man with lasers that he somehow survives.
Damn.
Heihachi strikes Kazuya so hard that the guy reverts back to his human form. Keep in mind that Kaz still hasn't beaten his father.
Oh yeah, just heads up right now. This is not like a break or anything. I was almost done with the video, but I'm very sorry, man. My internet fucking sucks. I don't know what just happened with that. It's so stupid how it does it, but we're almost done with the video anyways.
Shit out of each other, Kaz even nuking his old man with lasers that he somehow survives.
Yeah.
Heihachi strikes Kazuya so hard that the guy reverts back to his human form. Keep in mind that Kaz still hasn't beaten his father since Tekken 1. He lost in Tekken 2, he lost in Tekken 4,
yeah.
His dad will not go
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
He still feels like the helpless 5-year-old
Still feels like
boy.
it to me.
This is his last chance. It's now or never.
I love this fight though. Oh damn. So he died. Is he dead for good?
And he does it. Kazuya defeats Heihachi Mishima.
Damn.
And as these Tekken games tend to go, it ends on a cliff peering over the volcanic landscape.
Yeah. There you go. Get him out of here. Dead for good. There you go. There you go.
After all of that, Heihachi Mishima is finally dead.
Finally.
God damn.
Finally.
So where does this leave the story of Tekken? Well, one thing I glossed over is that Lars ends up finding Jin in the Middle East and brings him to Lee Chaolan for protection.
So yeah, we're almost done with that.
Unconscious until the very end.
Holy crap. Oh, setting up for the next game. Wow.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the insane lore of Tekken.
Wow. Wow. Well, that was good.
So I'm not in the habit of doing series recap videos. My next project sure as hell won't be 2 hours long, nor will I avoid talking about the gameplay.
That was something.
But I can't talk strategy with Tekken because I have no grounds to do so.
Yeah.
I'm no expert. Hell, my footage is probably the most basic combat you've ever seen.
But yeah,
that's
he's
kind of
doing
what
all
I've been
this
trying
stuff.
to say. I'm not good at.
Wait, hold on.
So I apologize if I missed out on talking about your favorite character. I'm also sorry if I got any details wrong. It's kind of hard to keep.
I mean, you did good, man. You did good.
Please be kind. Or feel forward to seeing just how crazy that it's going to be.
Yeah, this game.
So until then,
already out.
Let's get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, I just want to like re-forward that. Yeah. Whew! Yeah, I gotta tell you, man. I gotta say, like Tekken 8. I mean, like the lore of Tekken is crazy to me. I didn't notice how like the lore of Tekken really is from that. Is because that like you don't really get it that much when you're getting into newer games, anything like that. You get to see what the lore is all about. And I really appreciate that when it comes to the gaming industry, because like they kind of like show you what the game is all about, but like for the only thing I will say is that They did a good job with this. They did a good job explaining the whole type of thing. This guy right here. Shout out to him, of course. Full video link in the description down below for you guys. Sorry it was split to like other parts. And one, my internet was being shitty. Two, I had to take a break because that does this every time, but who knows. But yeah, I'm excited to get into Tekken 8. I hope everything goes well for Tekken 8 when I get into the game. Look forward to that for my playthrough when I do it. And also, of course, if you guys want to see me or to react to like any other stuff, of course, any other fighting game or anything like that, or video games, anime, anything like that you guys want me to check out, let me know in the comments down below, make it happen for you guys. With that being said, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.